Hi, welcome to Child Development 205. This is a class all about health, nutrition, and safety for young children. In this short-ish video, I am going to do a little kind of welcome or orientation to the class. I'm going to go over structure, how to contact me, some of the kind of bigger policies, and just generally what to expect from the class. I think kind of the two bigger policies that I kind of want to go over are how to contact me. This isn't a completely online 15-week class, so it's asynchronous. So many of you are probably very familiar with it, but with the formatting. But the most important thing is just to contact me whenever you have questions, concerns, want to ask a question, need additional help, anything like that. We are going to do some kind of meal planning. We're going to go over tracking of food, like macro and micronutrients. We'll do kind of safety checklists. We're generally going to immerse ourselves in the study of health, nutrition, and safety, and how to keep children healthy and safe, and just overall kind of well when they are 0 to 5, 0 to 8. So it's really just really important for you just to contact me whenever you have any issues. I'm going to share my screen right now and show you kind of how to do that. So here is your class. So here is 205. The best way to get a hold of me is just to go to the inbox. So go to the left-hand side. I am circling with my mouse the inbox. From there, you can just shoot me a message. I check my emails 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. So I am available. I usually check earlier in the morning and then at midday. And then I usually start to wrap up my day around 4:30 as well. So I check my emails 3 times a day. So if you shoot me a message here on Canvas, it will go directly to my email. I also have my email linked and I will show you where, so you can always shoot me an email that way as well. So that is the best way. Just shoot me a question, ask me a question, shoot me an email or a message, ask me a question, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I am teaching in person and have a bunch of kind of faculty meetings coming up. So I'm not exclusively online Monday through Friday, but I do make it a point to check my emails throughout the day so I can get back to you. So what we are looking at right now is the Canvas shell. So the very first module will always look like this. You'll have your welcome start here module, and there's kind of 4 parts to it. There's a welcome to the course. This has the syllabus, this video, the free textbook that we'll be reading out of, and I think also my email as well. Then we have credibility guidelines, which I'd like you to kind of read through. I'll click through in a second. Then we have our office hour schedule. I'm available every other Thursday on Zoom. And then all you have to do this week is an introduce yourself kind of discussion board. This will be my roster for the class. So generally how each week is going to go is that something will be due every Monday. So every Monday I will open something, or I'll open a new kind of section of the class, but something is due every single Monday throughout the class. So this class is kind of cumulative. We're learning something every single week. Every single Monday, basically something is due, and that's like 140, 150 points. So we do it in 10 point increments throughout the class. So for example, next week we'll just spend 1 week learning about kind of wellness, which is kind of a buzzword, but I'm going to kind of try to break it down because we kind of holistically want to view children as small children especially as being need of support from adults and regulating their health, their safety, their nutrition in order to grow into fully functional adults. And so we want to make sure that we are kind of setting them up for kind of good wellness or good health throughout their lifespan by putting a lot of emphasis on it in the first couple of years of life. So we're going to spend just the second week just diving into that a little bit. Then we're going to have weeks 3, 4, and 5 will be all about nutrition. So you can see I've got video lectures, but also the first we do a log, then we do a menu, then we do a newsletter, then we jump into some more disinformation and kind of fraud that's going on, especially in online spaces regarding nutrition, especially nutrition for young children. Then we'll go into safety and we'll do like a safety checklist. So each week there's something new that you're doing, and they all have kind of different points associated with them. And then we're going to do mental health. We'll do just 2 weeks of mental health health, we're actually going to focus on children's mental health, which is deeply, deeply important, but we're also going to focus on student mental health, meaning you guys as students. Throughout the class, too, I'm going to give you assignments and sometimes extra credits to focus on yourself. So focus on your nutrition, focus on your health, focus on your safety. And those will either be points associated, but it'll be like a 10-week point assignment. So like one of them is nutrition. You do a nutrition log for yourself and you actually get points for doing that. Sometimes it might be an extra credit. Sometimes it might be point associated, or sometimes it might just be for fun. But I do really like this class because I do try to have kind of a dual focus. Ourselves as possible teachers, social workers, or just professionals who are probably working with children or want to work with children. How do we take care of our own selves? You kind of have to take care of yourself and do your own self-care in order to prioritize and regulate children's nutrition, health, and safety as well. So throughout the class, we'll kind of have a dual focus. Most of our focus will be on kids, but I also have a few assignments where you're going to focus on yourself, making sure that you are the healthiest person you can be as well. And then the week 14 is review for the final. And then week 15 is the actual final. Nobody worry about the final. It is multiple choice. There's like short essay questions, and by short I mean like 2 or 3 sentences, and I'm going to give you a really comprehensive review right here. So on week 14, which I think is like the first or second week of December, I'm going to basically give you 40 questions, and then I'm going to choose 20 of those to be your final. So you will see all of the questions beforehand. You will have time to study, to focus, to spend some time looking at those questions, and then I just choose some of them. So nobody stress about the final. It's more of a reflection, look back on what we've kind of learned about, and kind of for me to hammer home some of those bigger parts and policies that we've been working on for 15 weeks. So that is generally kind of the focus. So this first week is just getting acclimated to the class. The second week is wellness and overall health. Then we have 3 weeks of nutrition, 3 weeks of health, 3 weeks of safety, 2 weeks of mental health, yours and children. Then we do a week of reviewing for the final, where I give you all of the questions. Week 15, I just choose half of those, and then that becomes your final exam for the class. In these 15 weeks, it is really important that you remember that every Monday something is due. So every Monday is a new assignment that you are kind of focusing on. I typically, for nutrition, health, and safety in those weeks, I open all of the assignments at once. So sometimes people will spend an entire week but kind of really grinding hard and hustling hard to finish all of those 3 to 4 assignments within a week, and then they'll just generally check in for 2 weeks, and then I'll open up health, and then I'll open up safety. It's totally up to you, your kind of weekly schedule or your schedule of how you work best in class. I will say that every Monday morning I open you kind of have something due, and I also send you out an announcement. So every week I'm going to send out an announcement just reminding you what's going on, reminding you what's due that day or in the next week, something like that. So generally just be aware that every Monday is an announcement, and then something is due, because we have 140, it might even be 150, but we have at least 140 points that are broken up into 10-point assignments, and they're always due on a Monday morning. So just make sure that you probably want to you need to log on weekly, you need to submit weekly, or submit ahead of time as well. So that is kind of my schedule. I am going to jump into the welcome to the course right here. So here is the welcome video. Here is the 15-week syllabus for this class. I'd like you to click into this and look at this. I'm only covering the big kind of policies. So as far as like plagiarism, the content notice, Canvas grades, all of those tiny things that are in the syllabus, I'm not going to go over all of them. It's your responsibility to look at the syllabus and read it. This video is just dedicated to the kind of larger policies. Here is our OER textbook. OER is Open Educational Resource, which means that it's totally free. So that is a PDF. We're going to read chapters throughout the class. I'll let you know in the announcement that comes out every Monday which chapters I would like you to read for that week. You don't need to print it. You probably want to download it so that you can read it easily. But for the most part, I'm just giving you chapters. It's totally free. It's totally online. It should be compatible with e-readers. So it should be totally accessible to you as well. And then every Monday I will tell you which chapters to read out of this free textbook. Here's the student support guide. I am actually a Miracosta alumni student myself. And the great thing about Miracosta that I always loved is even when I went 25 years ago, they've always had fantastic services. And you've paid for these services. You enrolled, you paid per class, and you also paid like a student services fee to get that ID card. All of that goes to your support guide. Counseling, therapy, healthcare, they have those rec classes and stuff like that. When I was a student here, I went kayaking down at La Jolla Cove, and it was like $7 or something like that, because that was a while ago. Now I think it's a little bit more, but they are always heavily discounted because they get the group rate, they get the wholesale rate. Like, we have so many services here on campus. That's one of the reasons I chose to come here, and one of the reasons that I now love to work here. I just teach every once in a while, because I primarily work at Cal State San Marcos, but I love this campus. I love the child development department, because I went here. And so I want you to check this out. Anything that you might need, you will probably find it in the student support guide, and it will be free, reduced, or sliding scale, or someone can point you in the direction of what you kind of need. So check that out as well. Here is my contact information. So just click on this, and that will take you, you can be able to shoot me an email, or you can just, once again, go to the left-hand side where this inbox is and just shoot me a message that way. Once again, it's a self-paced class, but you need to be on every single week because something is due every single Monday. So shoot me messages. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't check emails Saturday and Sunday. I'm a real person, not a bot. And so I am available traditional business hours, Monday through Friday. If you need help, shoot me an email earlier rather than later. If you send something to me at 4:45 on Friday night, I'm not going to see it until Monday morning, and I won't be able to help you probably after the assignment has already kind of come due. So always take a look at assignments earlier in the week or earlier when those modules are released so that I can best help you. Next, I'm going to go to credibility guidelines. So this is just about kind of fake news, basically. We are going to look at misinformation and disinformation, which are actually two different types of things, but they are very, very big right now, especially in online spaces, when it comes to the ideas of health and safety and nutrition, especially. So we are going to look at this. We're going to have two assignments throughout class where we look at misinformation and disinformation, and how do we decide what's true and what's fake. We don't want to give children bad nutrition because we have been led astray in an online space. So this is just information that I would like you to read through about credibility and nutrition. So I've got a lot of different information about purpose and audience and internet sources. One of the biggest things to do is that the person who's writing has to have an advanced degree, typically in child development, but in this field, they might also be a registered dietitian, they might be a pediatrician, or it might be a group of pediatricians who release information about childhood safety, right? Like, or it might be a bunch of lifeguards who have started a national organization who are writing about child safety in water, and drowning information and things like that. So we want to make sure that the person who is writing about this has education and experience within the field. And also, what is their purpose? Is it to sell something to me? Is it to get more followers? Is it to get more influence in an online space? Or is it to directly impact and improve for the better children's lives? So I'd like you guys to read through that as well. And also, when you're trying to find sources, a great thing to do is to go through our library. They do a great job of making sure that most of the things in our databases are credible, are written by authors with education and experience, that type of stuff. So it's always a good idea when doing some research, especially about health, nutrition, and safety, that you use credible sources. Next module is our office hour schedules. So I'm going to have office hours on Zoom every Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I'm going to start on September 4th. I will end on in December. No offices on like a day that the campus is closed, Thanksgiving, anything like this. Here is the link right here. Typically I have a few people show up. If I am with somebody, you'll just hang out in a waiting room, and then as soon as I'm done with them, I'll click you in, and then it's kind of a private meeting on Zoom. If these days don't work for you because you are at your job or at another class or something like that, email me with a couple of times and dates that work for you, and then I will respond with a Zoom invite, and then we can have our own kind of short private Zoom where we discuss something. But shoot me a couple of different days and times, and I'm more than happy to meet with you outside of my office hour schedule. And then this is what I'd like you to do for this week. So this is part of my roster. So by the end of the week, I have to get to Miracosta College, my official roster. So if you do not do this by Monday, you might be dropped from this course. So please make sure in the first week that you take a look at everything that it was in the module that I just went over, and you complete this discussion post where you're just telling me about yourself and posting a picture of your favorite hobby, a beautiful sunset. I love seeing pictures of kids and dogs, or any animals. I have, well, my joke is always that I have 7 kids. I have 4 goats, and 3 human children. And I also have 2 dogs, 2 pigs. I'm actually I live in Fallbrook. Somebody actually, I think, abandoned a cat out here. So I am trying to trap this poor little cat that I might be adopting or I might be finding a home for. But I love to see pictures of everybody's animals, and their children as well. You don't have to. You can put a picture of whatever you want, your favorite band, a book that you like, the beach that you go to the most, whatever. It's totally up to you. That the picture, telling me who you are and why you're taking this class, that is going to count towards my roster. So I'm going to need that to be done by Monday so that I can submit to Miracosta my most accurate roster. So this week is kind of your syllabus week. It's pretty late. It's pretty easy. And then next week, we're going to jump into 2 weeks on kind of overall health and wellness. Then we'll do, like I said before, 3 weeks on nutrition, 3 weeks on health, 3 weeks on safety, 2 weeks on mental health. And then the last 2 weeks will be a review and a final. So it's a pretty kind of easy structure. And then each week you are submitting a 10-point assignment that is getting us towards this overall understanding of how to keep children healthy and safe. Um, I'm going to go ahead and stop my kind of last point. Once again, you're going to look at the syllabus, you're going to look at all of my policies that I have, but I just mostly wanted to take you through the structure, tell you about the weekly assignments that every Monday you're going to be submitting. And now I just kind of want to talk about my late policy. So I totally understand that this is an asynchronous class, and that you're going to be on every Monday, but I also get that you probably have a job, you have a family, you have commitments outside of this class. So I do accept late work, but you have to have prior approval or communication with me. So it can be as simple as shooting me an email. I got COVID. I'm down for the count. I'm going to be late, but I probably have it in by Friday. And I'm going to be like, great. Hope you feel better. I'll probably even give you a link for healthcare on campus if you wanted to go get a COVID test or something like that, or meet with a doctor. I believe it's sliding scale. Or just make sure that you're okay, or anything like that. Just an email. My kid broke their leg. I've had a really hard week. I've had to work 6 12-hour shifts, something like that. Just let me know generally what's going on, and that you're going to be late. I'll typically say, feel better, take care, anything like that. I'll look for your assignment later in the week. Where the issue is that if you don't have approval, so you haven't had just the briefest of communications with me, letting me know that you're going to be late and when you're going to submit it. And typically what I see is not logging on for a really long time, not watching the video lectures, not looking at the pages that I put up, not reading the chapters that I give you. I give you a lot of resources and support and short videos where you watch kids doing something or teachers providing good supervision. I make my own video lectures. So if you're not engaging with that, you're not doing the weekly assignments, and then at the end of the semester, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn in 10 things in 3 days. I'm not going to accept it. You haven't put in the time and effort that it takes in order to learn this. And it's not fair for me to accept all of that at the end. So I do not accept any late work during finals week. We have a lot to do on our own end. We have to do student learning outcomes. We have to administer finals. We have to grade finals. We have to finish up grading so that we can get your grades promptly in by the end of the semester. So I don't accept any late work in the last week of class, so that kind of finals week. And then also, I need you to do your work every single week. So once again, there's something due every single Monday. It's 10 points. And every single week you're going to complete that. You can't blank on it, have not had any conversation with me, no emails to me, nothing. And then at the very end, try to submit everything. I just won't accept it. I won't grade it. I mean, you can turn it in, but I won't grade it and you won't get points for the class. If you are struggling, you've had a hard 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you need additional support, I can also help you with that. Like I can say, hey, there's counseling, here's writing support, here's mental health, here's this, here's that. I get that we have harder times in life sometimes. And if you have a conversation with me, we might be able to help each other out with that. And that's kind of why I also want communication. The student support services are here to support you. Me generally having a vague sense of what's going on with you, like once again, if you're just sick 1 week or sick another week, something like that, well, I'll send you some links and stuff like that, but you'll probably be able to get back into the stream of things. And that's where I accept late work, and it's not really a big deal. If it's a larger, bigger issue, having a conversation about it, me helping you use your student services will get you also back on track. So I'm more than welcome to kind of work with people. But if you blank on this class, you never log in, you never do any assignments, and then at the very end or halfway through are trying to do 8 to 10 weeks of work in a couple of days, I'm just not going to accept it. And once again, I don't accept late work in the very last week of the finals week either, because we have lots of other work to do as well. I hope that that has kind of clarified some things. What you're going to do in the very first week is you're going to look at the syllabus and you're going to read through the syllabus. You're watching this video already. You're going to do my roster, which is you doing the introduction post. That makes it then kind of my more official roster that I will submit to the college. And then every single week after that, you're going to take a look of what is kind of out there, what needs to be done, and you're going to make sure on Mondays that you submit your 10 point assignments. And then if you ever have questions, concerns, you need additional support, you are going to message me on Canvas or you're going to email me. And I'm going to check my emails 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, and I will get back to you as soon as I see your email. I am here to help and support you every other Thursday. Hopefully I'll see some of you in my office hours. If those times and dates don't work for you, shoot me a message or an email, and we can find a date and time to have a short Zoom together. Otherwise, I hope that you really enjoy this class. I do try to keep it a little bit fun. We do like we dive into disinformation and kind of what's out there on the internet. We do menu planning, we do newsletters, all that type of stuff. There's not a lot of like strict paper writing in this. There is writing, but I do try to keep it more fun. Like we'll do a classroom checklist. We'll design a classroom that's healthy and safe. So I hope that you enjoy some of these assignments, and that it overall teaches you about how to keep kids healthy and safe over their lifespan by setting them up for success when they are youngsters. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you guys more online.